We live in the most densely packed, hyper-connected era in human history. Yet it is entirely possible to stand in the middle of a rushing city street and feel completely invisible. The most pervasive form of starvation we face today has nothing to do with empty stomachs. It is an acute, silent hunger for love and acceptance. You see it everywhere once you know what to look for. It's in the faces of those who have been neglected, the people carrying the heavy weight of abuse, and an entire generation of young people wandering, misled by modern ideologies that promise connection but deliver emptiness. This widespread isolation creates a massive emotional crisis. A crisis of this scale doesn't fix itself. It requires an active, intentional rescue operation. 2,000 years ago, Jesus walked into massive crowds and witnessed this exact same profound human exhaustion. Looking out at the thousands of faces, Jesus felt a deep, visceral pity, describing the wandering masses as sheep without a shepherd. To capture the sheer volume of this human suffering, he used an agricultural metaphor. He looked at the endless need and called it an abundant harvest. Jesus identified a crisis of labor. The problem wasn't just that the suffering existed, but that there were too few workers willing to step into the field to alleviate it. The harvest was abundant, but the laborers were few. To understand how God addresses this human isolation, we have to look back to the ancient Middle East. He initiated a historical rescue, physically pulling the Israelites out of captivity in Egypt and leading them directly into a harsh, deeply isolating wilderness. That physical journey finally culminated at the rugged peaks of Mount Sinai. Here, God took a disorganized group of wanderers and began forming them into a structured community. He explained exactly what he had done for them, using a striking metaphor. He had borne them up on eagle's wings to carry them safely to himself. Then came the conditions. If they agreed to observe his commandments, they would become his special possession, a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. The formation of Israel at Sinai was a deliberate strategy. God was establishing a chosen people whose very existence would model his love and order to a broken world. Centuries after that first covenant, the mission entered a new phase. St. Paul explains that while humanity was still struggling and deeply flawed, Christ died for us, reconciling the world to God through his own life. To cure this global hunger for love, Jesus needed a mechanism to physically distribute his healing far beyond his own immediate location. So he spent 3 years meticulously training 12 ordinary men, teaching them his methods and shaping their understanding of compassion. Then came the radical directive. He granted them authority over disease and darkness, sending them out with a strict mandate. Freely you have received, freely you must give. Sending those 12 apostles moved God's love from a stationary historical event into an active rescue operation designed to reach every corner of the globe. That 2,000-year-old mission is still active today, playing out in the daily routine of a modern parish priest. The real work of ministry extends far beyond leading a public Sunday Mass. It happens in the quiet hours spent pulling up a chair beside hospital beds and walking the halls of nursing homes, sitting down to patiently listen to a lonely senior, or counseling a family going through a bitter fracture. These are the literal, modern applications of Jesus' command to heal. These quiet, everyday acts of service are the precise antidote to that intense hunger for love we see all around us. But this work doesn't belong exclusively to the priesthood. Every single baptized person inherits this exact same lineage. This chosen status carries a specific weight. It is an active vocation, a call to step directly into the field and labor in the harvest. That means looking closely at your own immediate circles. It means identifying the abused, the neglected, and the lonely right next to you, and offering them your time and your presence. The mandate hasn't changed in 2 millennia. Without cost you have received, without cost you are to give. You are called to be the physical hands and feet of Jesus in the modern world. The overwhelming harvest of human loneliness will only be cured when ordinary people step up, walk into the field, and deliver God's love to one another.